Do you have a love-hate relationship with your laundry? You might be somebody that enjoys laundry or wants to enjoy it, or you might be drowning in mountains of laundry, feeling like you will never catch up. Either way, there are steps that you can take to create a laundry routine that is simple, effective, and makes laundry easier to stay on top of. When you can have a consistent routine to get your laundry done, it becomes something that you simply do rather than that annoying task that is always in the back of your mind. And hey, you might even learn to enjoy it too. So, I'm going to share with you a simplified laundry routine to help make it less annoying, and you can try and take this and use it for yourself.
Are you ready to stop the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's filling your life? I'm Renee Matt, and together you and I are going to build simple routines that are going to change your life. When you put these habits into practice, you're going to be able to organize your life in a way where you can be there for your family, pay off your debt, save money, your house can stay organized, you don't have to stress about what's for dinner, and you still get time for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Routine Advantage Podcast.
I have never been somebody that truly enjoys doing laundry until more recently. And the only reason I was able to learn to appreciate it is because I found a routine that I could be consistent with that has actually created an environment where I can enjoy it rather than it just always being that thing that needs to be done that you never feel like you can catch up on. And it's just always super annoying. And some people will wait until the weekend. That's what we used to do is we used to leave the laundry all week and then we wait till the weekend and we would end up having to do laundry all weekend to try and catch up because it was just a mountain of laundry. And if you are used to doing this, you know how overwhelming this can be because it is just always something that kind of eats at you and it's something you never really enjoy doing. It's just always that thing that needs to be caught up and makes you feel behind. And that is no fun at all. So I had in the last like recent years, I have found a way to create a laundry routine that actually works. It has changed the way that I look at doing laundry and I've actually learned to enjoy doing laundry. And there is a little bit of almost a pride in being able to do laundry, keep up with laundry, and not have the focus be so much on perfection and needing to have it all done all at once, but creating a routine that helps me to keep it consistently done. And I want to share that with you today. I have done some episodes in the past about laundry and some laundry tips and things like that, but this one is focusing more on the actual routine of getting your laundry done, and I hope it helps. So, I want you to think about simplifying your laundry routine to make it less annoying. So, this one is going to be kind of step by step, but what I really want you to think about before we go into the steps is to think about what you're actually doing now. Like when you are doing your laundry, do you have any sort of consistency in how it's done, when it's done, anything like that? Or are you like waiting until the weekend and then doing all of it? And that is a consistency if that's what you're doing every weekend, where it's just catching up on laundry every weekend. But what I want you to ask yourself too is not only what are you doing and is it being consistent, but also like, are you happy with what you're doing? Because if you have a system that works for you right now and that you are happy with the way that you're getting laundry done and the method that you do it, maybe you do wait for the weekend, but you really enjoy that, then don't change it just because I'm telling you the way that it works for me. You have to find what works for you. Now, if you are waiting for the weekend and trying to catch up all weekend on your laundry and you hate that, well, then that's different. And then this is a good time to shift things up a little bit and try this instead and see if it helps. So don't feel like you have to change something if something is already working well for you. I just want to make sure that you know that. So here are the steps that I use to do our laundry and what I have done the last several years that have completely changed the game. Okay, so number one is to create a plan of when you are going to do it. Now, this can mean several different things. It can be the time of day, it can be the day of the week, it could be several days, it could be whatever you want it to be. It could be really random, but you just plug it in and it's like, okay, this week it's going to work on Monday and Thursday to catch up, and that's it. Or maybe you know that you can put a load of laundry in when your coffee is brewing every morning, and that is a good system. And then when you are cleaning up from breakfast, you can finish the dishes and then go down and switch it into the dryer. And that works really well for you. So you have to decide what works well for you, but you have to know when it's going to be done because life gets busy. We get pulled to all different things, and this allows us to know what our plan is so that we can stick to it. Because if we know when we need to do it and then we just go do it at that time, it's not something you have to think about so much, and you end up being able to stay on top of it rather than having it get pushed off and pushed off and pushed off. And then all of a sudden, your laundry baskets are just brimming and overflowing wherever you keep it. And that is a problem. So, what we want to do is we want to know when we're doing it. Now, as an example for myself, we do it when, or I do it when I'm doing my daily 7 home routine. I do laundry in our house. Every once in a while, Tony will throw something in, but we kind of have the agreement, I guess, in our marriage. Like he does a lot of the outside stuff, and I do a lot of the inside stuff. So I do our daily 7 home routine, and part of my daily 7 home routine is getting that load in. So with that, I know that even if I need to shift when I'm doing my daily 7 home routine to make it work around my work schedule, because it's not the same every day because life changes. So it does shift a little bit sometimes. But I know that when I start my daily 7 home routine, part of the process is getting that load of laundry in. And then as far as actually changing it out and switching loads, I tend to do that on my next break. So if I can do it right away in the morning and I can do my daily 7 home routine in the morning, then I know in like a later morning break, I can go and switch it to the dryer. If I can't do my daily 7 home routine until like lunchtime, then I know that my afternoon break, I can go and switch it out really quick. So it just depends on what it is. If you don't work from home like I do, then maybe it is putting it in the morning, and then you are gone all day, and then when you get home, you throw it into the dryer before you start dinner. And maybe you have every Monday off. Maybe that's your time to do all of your laundry because you prefer to just do laundry one day a week. That's totally up to you. But you just want to make sure that you know when you are going to do it because that is going to make a big difference in being able to keep up with it consistently because you don't have to worry about it on all the other times because you know exactly when it's going to get done. Number two is to focus on gathering laundry from one end of the house to the other. Now, this one is huge. Like, this is during my daily 7 home routine. I start at the top upstairs in our bedroom because that is the far corner. And I literally bring all of the laundry out to the hallway because we have one laundry basket in the hall closet upstairs, and that's where all the laundry goes. So I pull that basket out and then I pull any laundry. So anything that might be like maybe we were waiting to wear it a second time, but we have room to wash it now and we can just wash it instead of wait. I'll pull those clothes in from our bedroom. If we had guests over and I need to pull the sheets from our guest room, then I will do that and I'll put those into the laundry basket. I go into the bathroom and I pull any towels that need to be washed. I replace the hand towels. I'll wipe down the bathroom and you grab those. Like we use reusable rags for that. So like microfiber cloths. So I'll do that and then get those in the basket. And I just move this basket with me. And then I go downstairs and I take the basket with me to the next. We have like a half bath downstairs. And then I will do the same thing in there. I replace the hand towels, wipe it all down, and put those microfiber cloths in there. I will go through the living room just to see like if we have any blankets for movie nights that need to be washed. We do allow our dog on the couch, so he has to have have a blanket underneath him. So a lot of times we have that blanket on the couch that he lays on that we need to wash. And then I take that basket with me into the kitchen and I do the same thing. I'm replacing towels, I'm replacing dishcloths, anything like that. And I am putting new, fresh ones out and I am taking the old ones with me. And then I am bringing that all down to the other end. So I started at the top and I'm bringing it all down to the basement where our laundry is. And that is where I go and sort it out. So that is the step that I do. And it's the same always because I grab the basket from the top and I gather everything and bring it all down with me because then I'm not going and bouncing around and finding laundry all over the place. I just grab it from one end to the other and I am done gathering laundry at that point. So then I move to number 3, which is sort it out. Now, this one is pretty self-explanatory. I think a lot of people, when they gather laundry, you go and you sort it out. But I actually really enjoy this step because if I skip this, it does make a big difference. Rather than just, pulling all the darks out randomly and throwing them in the washer and then starting it at that point, I actually take time to sort through all of the laundry I just gathered because I want to make sure that all of the whites are in one basket, all of the darks are in one basket. And I don't sort, lights, whites, and darks. I just do whites and darks. So that's what I do. But it's just easier that way, especially with just 2 of us, we would have so many more loads, but what we really do is we split our darks. So, we do a lot of hang drying, and if you don't hang dry a lot of your stuff, then this one doesn't really apply to you and you can skip ahead a little bit, but if you do hang dry a lot of your items, this one has made such a big difference. So, when I'm actually sorting everything out, I have a basket I put a basket for dryer items, and then I put basket for hang dry items. And so before I'm even actually putting a load in, I'm making sure that all of the whites go in one basket, all of the items that are darks that are going to go into the dryer are in one basket, and then all of the items that are darks that are going to be hung, I almost stumbled on that word, that they're going to be hung are going into another basket because I can then do wash by priority, which is step 4. Once you have everything sorted out, you go to step 4, which is wash by priority. And when you can wash by priority, not only, excuse me, not only are you washing by, maybe what you need first, like if you're running low on towels and you have a load of towels to put in, then you might want to put in your towels first so that you don't have to, drip dry from the shower and not have a clean towel. So that would be a priority if you are going to do that. But the other thing is if you are hang drying any of your clothes, rather than throwing that load in first or mixing them all up and then hang drying half and having to pick through all the wet clothes and hang dry some of them and then put the rest in the dryer, but then it's not really a full load in the dryer. Like, this is what I'm constantly thinking about. So instead, if I have them all sorted, I can maybe do the towels first and then get those into the dryer. And then I can do the next dark load with the actual like dryer load and I can put those in the wash, and then when those are drying, I can wash the hang dry load, because then by the time the dryer is done, those are gonna be ready to be folded, and the washing machine that is done doesn't have to go to the dryer, so I don't have to wait for another load at this point. I can just take those out of the washing machine and hang them all up to dry and air dry on their own. So it just makes it more, time efficient because I don't have to wait so long. I can do it by priority that way, and it helps so much. And then, like I said, you're not picking through the load trying to figure out what ones need to be hung and which ones need to go into the dryer. And that just makes things so much easier for me and less stressful. Like I know what I need to do and it's good. Number 5 is to fold your clothes immediately when they come out of the dryer. And this one is really hard, especially if you are used to, pulling everything out into a basket and then bringing it to maybe a different room in the house. Maybe you dump it on the bed or on the living room floor or wherever you tend to do this. But I have found that if I fold it as soon as it comes out of the dryer, I am so much better about getting it put away. We aren't digging clean clothes out of a basket and now they're all wrinkled and piled high, and then you don't know which ones are dirty and which ones are clean or any of that nonsense. Like that gets really stressful and it does make it really annoying. But if you just make it a habit to open the dryer and then immediately start folding it all, then it makes it so much easier and you end up being staying on top of your laundry more easily. Now, if you don't have a nice space to fold your laundry, I can tell you what we do. So we have just the actual dryer. So our laundry, it comes out, it's a front it empties in the front, the dryer does, like typical dryers do, and so it's not a stacking, so we actually have the top of it that works for us to use to put piles on, and then it's sitting right next to just a small chest freezer in our basement, so I technically have those 2 kind of tabletops to use for folding clothes and kinda stacking those piles up, so that does work really well for me. If you don't have a space where you can fold clothes and pile them like that, then maybe getting just even like a folding table or something in there. And then as soon as you're done with it, you can collapse it and slide it behind a door or something like that. Just consider doing that to make it easier for you if that is something that would work in your space. But what I do is I actually like fold everything, and rather than creating all these different piles, like when we pull out our clothes, I will put all of our like jeans, shorts, anything like that, anything I'm folding, I just stack into one pile. And the reason I do it is because then I don't have to think so hard. I'm just stacking it. I'm folding and stacking into one pile. Any socks that are coming out, I'm immediately pairing them and throwing them into the basket to go put clothes away. Anything like that, it's just going straight into my basket. And then when it's time to actually put the clothes away, I bring that basket upstairs with those piles. And at that point, I just put the basket on the bed and I take out that pile and I very quickly just sort it into piles on what is mine and what is my husband's. Because then I'm not doing this whole big sorting routine in the basement. Because once we have our piles, we both tend to sort things out. So, like, once I have my pile, I would sort it anyway because I'm going to put, my pajamas in one drawer. I'm going to put my jeans in another stack. I'm going to put my, leggings in a different stack and things like that. So I would end up sorting that out anyway. So I just wait to do it all until I get upstairs when I'm actually putting it away because it makes it easier. Otherwise, I would have so many piles downstairs trying to keep it all organized. And when I have too many piles, it just gets too chaotic in my mind. And so it just makes it a lot easier. So if that is something that helps you, maybe try that and see if that helps. The sixth thing that I would recommend doing that I have done that it works really well is to not focus so much on putting things away immediately. Now, if this is part of your routine already, that is great. And if it works for you and you can stay with it, then go for it. Like that is awesome. But if you can focus on just making sure things are washed, dried, and folded when they come out of the dryer so that you don't have a full backup of clothes that need to be folded. So just make sure they're washed, dried, and folded. And then don't worry so much on when to put them away because if you focus on having to do all of it, then it can be overwhelming and you might just push it off and push it off and push it off. But what I like to do is just focus on putting things away before I put my next round in. So one of the things I like to do is do my morning routine and get the dishwasher unloaded and everything. And then at some point in the morning, I will go down to the basement and I grab all of the clothes that are down there and the towels, anything that needs to be put away that is fully dried at this point, because like I said, I hang dry a lot of things, so it needs time to dry. So at this point, I will go and put all of that stuff away before I start my daily 7 home routine because then it will be all clear. And then when I get down there with my pile of laundry for that day, and I can just go and sort it out without having to worry about anything else. So it doesn't always work that way, but that's my goal of what I try to do. Sometimes I do have to put it away after I get down there and I sort the new dirty laundry and then put everything all the new stuff away rather than adding to it with this new kind of set of laundry that I have to do. But that is something that I strive to do, and that helps a ton. And then I don't feel like I am constantly having to do laundry. Like I can just get it done and focus on putting it away a little bit later. And then it doesn't seem so stressful to me. So I hope that works for you if you haven't thought about doing your laundry this way. And maybe this is so simplified that you're like, well, this is just how you do laundry. Not everybody does it this way. So if you do it similar to me, then okay, we're laundry besties. It's okay. So this is a good way that works for me to do it. And I do have a few other tips before I recap those steps. So, the first tip is to find ways to make laundry more enjoyable or having to do laundry more enjoyable. And some of the ways that I have done that make it more enjoyable for me is to find some cute laundry baskets. I have one that is oval and it's this cute teal color and I enjoy using it. So I actually really I started with one and I really enjoyed it. So then I ended up getting a second one and I kind of flip-flop them so that I always have one in the hall closet upstairs to hold the laundry, and then I always have one down in the basement that I can use to put the clean laundry away. So that works really well. So that is something I've done. I've also bought one of those cheaper, I think it's only like $5 at Walmart, is like the apothecary jars to keep any powder, detergent. You can also get like the glass liquid detergent spouts. Like I can't think of the name of them right now, but it's like a glass jar and it has a little stand, and then you have the little spout at the bottom that you can just open up and it pours out the liquid detergent if that is something that you use. But there's just fun things that you can get that are very, very low cost, that you can just use to make it a little bit more fun to do laundry, make it prettier, like pretty up the space and just make it more enjoyable. The other thing is that you could listen to podcasts or audiobooks during this time. Like that is one of my favorite times to listen to podcasts or audiobooks is when I bring all the laundry down and I put something on while I'm sorting my laundry or I'm listening while I'm folding the laundry, anything like that. Like it's quiet down there. It's a space where I can just focus on what I'm doing and listen, and it's just really enjoyable. So it's actually really nice. The second tip is to focus on creating the steps in your routine rather than focusing so hard on being perfect about the schedule of it. So, like I said, I do fluctuate when I'm doing it based on when I can do my daily 7 home routine. But I will obviously have more laundry than other days on certain days, if especially if we have, the guest room sheets to wash. Like that's going to be an extra load, or maybe two, if I'm doing bedding. So it's things like that where it's going to be a little bit different. So rather than focusing on the timing of when you have to do laundry being so perfect, focus on just the steps. So focus on when you have to gather it, like gather, sort, wash by priority, fold immediately as it comes out, and then put it away when you can. And when you focus on just doing that routine in those steps over and over, that is going to help you to be more consistent about your laundry routine rather than being so focused on trying to have the schedule of doing it more perfect. It's just try it, see how it helps. The third tip is to change your mindset around laundry. If you struggle doing laundry because it is really annoying to you, that is going to be something that you're always thinking about is just how annoying it is. But if you can change your mindset and you can shift some things to make it a little bit easier, make it a little bit more enjoyable, and think about the aspects of it that you do enjoy or how it feels when your laundry is done, then maybe it won't be such a hassle moving forward. Like, obviously, it takes some time to change your mindset, but when you start trying to, it does make a huge difference because we have to find those little ways to enjoy the things that we have to do anyway. It's kind of like meal planning and making dinner. Like we have to do it anyway. We need to eat, we need clean clothes. So it has to be done anyway. We might as well find a way to shift our mindset and find ways to tweak our routines to make it easier on us so that we can start to enjoy these things and not have to think about them so much. They just become something that is gets done rather than something that is always just pushing on our minds and feeling like we are running behind, but we just know when it's going to get done and we don't have to worry so much about it anymore. So that is a huge thing when it comes to laundry. And then the fourth tip I have for you is to try to do at least one load of laundry every day. And this one might feel like I don't have laundry to do every day, or maybe it's like I have way more than one load to do each day, and that's okay. But when you focus on doing one load a day, even if you have a ton more, it's going to help you to stay on top of it. Even if you have, like, say you have 4 loads one day, but doing 1 load a day is going to prevent you from having, 10 loads that day. And if you don't have a load every day because you just don't have that much laundry, I want you to first think about, do you actually not have 1 load, or is it not just 1 load that you're seeing? So do you wash your bedding regularly? Are you washing any curtains or drapes or blankets or coats or hats and mittens and things like that? Or anything that's around your house that feels like it could use a refresh and use a washing? Is there something that you can wash? And just get that done so that it doesn't pile up later. And all of a sudden, you've just got that mountain of laundry piling up because now all the blankets need to be washed and this bedding needs to be washed. And, that mountain of towels that was in the bathroom needs to be washed now. But if you can focus on just doing one load a day and washing what needs to be washed, and if nothing needs to be washed, then don't force it. Like, obviously, then you just have a day off at that point. But when we can do one load a day, it just makes it so much easier. And then we don't have so much time to be down there washing, folding, all the things. We can focus on one load a day and it just makes it so much quicker too because we only have one load to fold at that point too. So it just makes it so much simpler and easier to stick to one load a day. All right. And then the recap of going back through the steps to simplify your laundry routine is number one, create a plan of when you are going to do it. Number two, gather laundry from one end of the house to the other and make that part of your routine before you start washing. Number three is to sort it out, whether it's colors versus whites, but also hanging versus dryer items. And then number four is to wash by priority. Number five is to fold immediately as it comes out of the dryer. And number six is don't focus about putting it away immediately, but just try and put it away before you start the next round of laundry. So I hope this was helpful for you. I hope it gave you some encouragement to start tweaking your laundry routine in a way that you will actually enjoy your laundry routine and it will become something that you enjoy doing rather than a burden. And if you I have enjoyed this episode or you want to share it with a friend, please do. If you want to leave a rating or review, I would love to hear from you. I know I was kind of stumbling over my words a lot in this episode, I feel like, and my mouth is really dry. So I am like constantly drinking my water. So I hope it wasn't super annoying to listen to me today, but this was something that I really wanted to share because I think laundry can be such a big task for so many of us. And I just want to simplify it for you so that it does become easier and you can enjoy it. So I hope you enjoyed that episode. I will catch you on the next one. Take care.